Hi Booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. Happy Friday. I am very glad it's Friday, although next week we might have another Saturday reads, or I might have to post something in my community post because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this video next week, but we'll just see what happens. After next week, some things at least will calm down a little bit. But just a quick reading update. I'm gonna talk about the thing I've spent the most time reading since I last talked to you. But I am still reading Rough Beauty, 40 Seasons of Mountain Living by Karen Auvinen. Struggle with that last name there. This is a nature memoir, maybe? She kind of wants to be alone and isolated, like wants to be kind of a hermit, something of a hermit. Although it's taking her 3 jobs at the same time to live in this very isolated place. But anyway, I have read 2 other books about women either having a wild animal with them or living in a very isolated and wild place. And they have not fit the bill this year, but this is really, I'm just really enjoying this book so far. So it takes place in Colorado. Be curious if anybody else out there has read this, but I just think it's really, really good. And my July TBR is just a train wreck, folks. So I did figure out if I read 8 pages a day, I will have that done by the end of July. I feel pretty confident that I can read more than 8 pages a day. But as to what to pick up next, I'm not sure. I might read the 3rd book, The Castle of Llyr by Lloyd Alexander. This is the 3rd book in the Chronicles of Prydain. Somebody told me a different pronunciation, but there's actually a pronunciation guide in the back of this book, and I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that I'm saying that right. Someone else also told me this was their least favorite book in the series, so maybe I should just get over it. I don't know. But anyway, I would like to do some kind of wrap up on all 5 books in the series when I finish them. So maybe this is the month. I have a high priority TBR, and I've looked at it and just realized maybe that's why we have the mid-year freakout tag, is because this is the point of the year where you realize, no, my reading plans are not going to work out the way I wanted them to, and we're going to have to pivot a little bit and let go of some books that we were planning to read, and just how it is. So what did I read and finish? As many of you know, we recently lost a member of our community, Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Alice was a huge Agatha Christie fan, and after I heard about her death, one of my Booktube friends, her name is Loretta, reached out to me, and she was really upset. I did not know that Loretta knew Alice, that they had done some buddy reads along with Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures, another channel that I really love. My friend Loretta really talked to me about Alice, and that was, it was very, because I really didn't know Alice that well. We just exchanged, banter, some friendly banter in the comments section of each other's videos. But nonetheless, you can tell just from all the videos lately that she really meant a lot to a lot of people. I know some people have been doing her Hercule Poirot tag, and I just can't, you guys, I can't do it. So Berna mentioned some books that Alice really loved. One of them being Agatha Christie's Five Little Pigs, which is a Hercule Poirot mystery. Now, I want to, before I talk about the book, and I promise you I'm not going to spoil anything about this, because I think this was one of Alice's favorite books, maybe. Berna recommended Five Little Pigs to me, and so I'm going to get into that in a second. But Agatha Christie is one of those writers that I own one. This is the only one I own. It's Nemesis. It's a Miss Marple mystery. I absolutely love it. It does have kind of a connection to another Agatha Christie novel, Miss Marple novel, called A Caribbean Mystery. And I read that book, but I couldn't tell you anything. Aside from the fact that it must take place somewhere in the Caribbean, I haven't the slightest clue what happens in the book. Since being on Booktube, I know I've read, I found in a little free library, Ask About Evans, and I read that, and I talked to all of you about it, and I gave it away. I remember like one thing. I remember one thing about that book. That's it. So she's just not an author for some reason that I really retain, with a few notable exceptions. And then there were Murder on the Orient Express. I've read Halloween Party, I think twice, and Nemesis, which again is my favorite Agatha Christie. Fortunately, our library does have boatloads of Agatha Christie books. So I feel as though I could pick one up even if I'd already read it at any time, and it would be fine. I asked my husband to swing by the library. There was supposed to be one copy of Five Little Pigs on the shelf, and he grabbed it for me. I actually really like this cover. I feel it's very fitting for this mystery. So I'm just going to give you a little tiny snippet about what the book is about, and then some of my reactions to it. And my poor buddy reader, so Loretta and I decided to read this together, and poor Loretta has been out of, she hasn't had any internet service since, I think, Sunday. So she really does want to talk about it, but we just haven't had a chance to connect. So I will save my conspiracy theories for her since she's finished the book. This is a very different Agatha Christie novel, which I appreciated, because it's a case that's kind of, in some ways, over. A mystery that's over. There's a husband and wife, the Crales, and he's an artist, and there's one weekend where there's a group of people at their country estate, if you will, and the husband is found dead. He's been poisoned, and the wife is arrested, and she goes off to prison, and she dies in prison. Now, they had a very, very young daughter, and the daughter gets shipped off to Canada to see her relatives, and then when she comes of age, she comes back to England, and she wants to know what did her mother really kill her father? Because that is a heavy thing. So Poirot goes and interviews people involved in the case, and mainly the five living characters who were there when the husband, the artist, is poisoned. Okay. Then, in addition to interviewing people, he has these 5 people write something up about what they remember of that weekend, which is really fascinating. And of course, Agatha Christie does a great job of, you know, kind of throwing like little red herrings here and there of, oh, this person remembers seeing this person, but this person doesn't. And it's 16 years. The case has been over for 16 years. So, so yes, the memory is a bit fuzzy and foggy for some characters, and of course, some characters are definitely trying to misdirect Poirot. And then he goes and asks them each one question, and then at the end they of course he has them all in a room together to, you know, to reveal his, you know, his genius, how he figured out what happened. So I liked the fact that the structure was different, but the fact that the murder itself is 16 years old, it took some of the edge out of the story. It took some of the suspense, if you will. Now, if suddenly one of these characters had died, all of a sudden, like, that would have been really suspenseful. And, you know, I just wanted, like, when you read a mystery, I don't know, I'm just kind of like waiting for the unexpected. But in this case, you know, the wife went to prison, she died in prison, and some people think she's innocent, and some people think, nope, she did it. And so it just doesn't have that extra little bite, which why, Alice, forgive me, I gave this book 4 stars. But I plan on, you know, I'm going to look through which Agatha Christie books I actually have read, and I don't know, maybe once a year I'm going to read an Agatha Christie book in honor of Alice. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But there's so many that I haven't read. I've probably, if I had to guess just off the top of my head, I'd say I've read 8. Can't be more than 10. And there's tons. This 5 Little Pigs is, according to Goodreads, number 25 in the Hercule Poirot series. So anyway, I enjoyed it. It was great to read it with somebody who knew Alice. I'm glad I did. And it does hold some kind of extra, it's not just a fluffy mystery to me, because I was not planning on reading 2 books this year in memory of someone else. So I have another in-memory read for Jennifer Brooks coming up in Victober. Booktube, I would love to know what your favorite Agatha Christie novel is. Are you planning on reading something in honor of Alice? What do you love about Agatha Christie? Some people are just very, very devoted fans. And again, I'm a fan too. I'm just not, you know, I guess, like I said, I don't really worry about not owning Agatha Christie because I'm going to forget what happens. So at some point I can return to 5 Little Pigs and appreciate it all over again. Yeah, but I would love to hear from you down in the comment section. As always, if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, you can leave an emoji, or you can give this video a thumbs up, which I really do appreciate. Booktube, remember to be kind to others, to be kind to yourself, and I'll be back soon with another video. Wish me luck next week. All right, I'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye.